How much will the superheroes of Earth be willing to sacrifice if it means defeating and unseating Dr. Doom once and for all? Is any price really too high, or will it be Victor who ends up paying by the time everything is said and done? Well, let's hop into the pages of One World Under Doom issue number 8 and find out the answer to these and other questions together, shall we? So then, we pick up mere moments after the end of the previous issue. Valeria Richards is understandably horrified, believing that she just saw her father executed on national television. Fearing that she may actually be the only one to actually get through to Dr. Doom at this late juncture, Val and her siblings throw themselves into trying to science together, a device that will actually be able to get Victor's attention while he's busy fighting the entire world. I really like this segment because it's fun, involves the Fantastic Kids, but more importantly, it feels the most like the kind of aside you would see in Ryan North's own Fantastic Four series. Of course, Valeria's invention ends up working wonderfully. Doom decides to put a pin in this whole crushing a global uprising thing to have a little one-on-one with his goddaughter in the Mindscape, a place created with Sorcerer Supreme magic and a little of Doom's own genius. And I mean, why not, right? Of course, Victor would put everything on hold for Valeria, as he is sure to reiterate once again she is the only person in the entire world, maybe the entire universe, that Doom gives a crap about. He loves her, respects her, even sees her as an equal. Hell, their relationship is maybe one of the few redeeming factors that Doom has going for him. Keep all that in mind because it will be super important later. Now that Val finally has an audience with her godfather, she takes this opportunity to start asking the really hard question. She reiterates the conversation they had when all of this started, when Doom pretty much admitted to her that, yeah, I'm doing this whole conquering the world thing entirely to amass personal glory and feed my own ego, a fact of which a lot of people reading the book just willingly have seemed to forgot for some reason. But now we're all through the looking glass, cats are out of the bag, and the entire world has turned against Dr. Doom. How far is he willing to dig in his heels, though? What's his actual endgame now, and what's it gonna take for him to stop?
Well, for Doom it is the same endgame as ever. Victory. Victory at all costs.
Oh sure, most of the world has risen up against me, meaning that I no longer have the consent of those I govern, but no biggie. That's only been a problem for, like, regular people and regular despots, and Doom is far from regular. I will merely continue to hold together my new world order through violence and coercion. Oh sure, you think I'm fighting the entire world and that means I can never possibly win, but I mean, you're also speaking English right now. Don't you think that was forced on your ancestors thousands of years ago by some great conqueror? Now it's just taken to be your mother tongue, right? No one remembers the specifics, they only remember who wins. So yeah, needless to say, young Val's last-ditch effort to try and appeal to her godfather's better angels didn't exactly go over too well. Though there's plenty of failure to go around these days, Maria Hill and the rest of the Avengers admit that their big gambit involving Reed Richards, who did not actually die by the way, Doom spared him out of respect for Valeria, failed. They now need to go ahead with plans B through Z, which to their credit are actually pretty damn creative. First things first, let's try and use the different superheroes' powers in conjunction with one another like they did back in the heyday of Krakoa. They got Storm creating a super tornado, for the Human Torch to set ablaze, creating a massive firestorm which they hope will be able to hold Doom, which it does, for like a minute. Victor admits that this is a clever ploy, and before he was Sorcerer Supreme, this might very well have stopped him in his tracks, but he is the Sorcerer Supreme, and the X-Men, as we all know, have a terrible history when it comes to dealing with chaos magic. With a snap of his fingers, Dr. Doom is able to completely rob all of the mutants of their amazing abilities. Though, as he notes, he won't be nearly as mean-spirited as the Scarlet Witch was back in the day. Their powers will return as soon as they leave the field. He just hopes that next time the X-Men will remember that when they come for the Emperor, they better not miss. Well, that plan was a bust. What do we got next? Of course, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, the beloved comedy character who actually has a way better track record than you might think in these situations. Doreen gets out of the rubble and grabs Dr. Doom by the foot, and for a second there, Victor is even a little amused by all of this. Oh, that's so cute. Squirrel Girl, you heroes must really be running out of ideas at this point. Ultimately, it's revealed that Squirrel Girl was just a smokescreen so that the heroes could ready their next big attack. The plan this time is that every hero who can shoot energy, from Iron Man to Cyclops, to channel their energy into the Invisible Woman. You would think she would turn that energy against Dr. Doom, but in a surprise twist, Sue actually chooses to channel this supercharged energy stream into Stormbreaker, the hammer that Beta Ray Bill normally carries around. And who's gonna wield this hammer, you might be wondering? Well, the most worthy, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Ben takes this brand new super weapon and smacks Doom across the face with it. The hammer hits like a goddamn nuke going off, complete with an amazing full-page spread with corresponding sound effects that I absolutely love to death. But believe it or not, even this isn't enough to stop Dr. Doom. It's at this point Victor really begins feeling himself. Wow, did that really happen? Did I really do that? I'm actually going to win this. This might be the most amazing victory ever in the history of the Marvel Universe. In fact, I better use my powers to make sure. This moment is captured in time forever. God forbid the heroes think to start messing with that via time travel or some other sort of chicanery. As far as taking all the heroes out, Doom decides to supercharge his own armor, breaking it into a million pieces that shatter across the battlefield, impaling each hero. Again, Doom doesn't actually want to kill anyone outright. Where's the fun in that? He wants the heroes to suffer. He wants them to know that they have been so thoroughly defeated, and that should they ever dare to try and raise their hands to him ever again after this day, surely they will die. Furthermore, I don't know if anyone felt the same way I did, but when we actually get to see Doom post big attack, when he's all spent and his armor is broken off, he looks like the Doom from the Fan 4-Stick movie for a second. Victor takes a few seconds to bask in the afterglow of his ultimate victory. He risked it all, and ended up winning bigger than he could ever possibly imagine. But of course, did he really win is the question. You see, once the smoke clears, Doom looks over the battlefield, and only too late does he realize that the shards of his armor didn't just go into the assembled superhero community, they also ended up hitting Val, who had taken the field. And because she is still a child, those shards ended up absolutely shredding her to pieces. Oh no! And believe it or not, it's on that shocking note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody. And so that was One World Under Doom issue number 8. And you know what? We've been with this event for a while. The wait in between issues I felt was maybe getting a little annoying, but then I cracked this newest issue, and you know what, Ryan North, you mad bastard, you did it. You roped me right back in all over again. Looking back at the first 8 issues, this whole event really does feel like some sort of crazy narrative magic trick where Doom can be the main villain, but also such a strong POV for like 90% of the story. To think too that a series can end up balancing so much really fascinating, really topical socio-political commentary, but then also have an issue like this that's an amazing, all toys in the toy box, Marvel Geek Out spectacular, and then to cap it all off with a genuinely unexpected gut punch of pure unadulterated tragedy. In fact, that really does sum up this story and what it means to Dr. Doom. It is the tragedy of Victor Von Doom, a man who could have the whole world in the palm of his hand and yet still end up losing the only thing that's actually important to him. He might say that Reed Richards is his greatest enemy, but really Victor is Victor's own enemy. A man so prideful and so egotistical he just could not stop himself. And I mean, when we stop and think about it, that is kind of the fate of all dictators, isn't it? That big finale too also really ends up changing the trajectory of this big event. I don't know where they're going to go from here, but you better believe I am super hyped to take that journey. Overall, I would give this one a much deserved 9 out of 10. Very pleasantly surprised. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.